Have you ever wondered about the power of an electric eel and whether it poses any danger to us humans? Let's embark on a fascinating journey into the world of this extraordinary creature. Nestled in the murky waters of South America's Amazon and Orinoco River basins, the electric eel isn't actually an eel, but a type of knife fish. They can reach lengths of up to 8 feet, which is about the height of an adult male giraffe, and weigh up to 44 pounds, equivalent to a medium-sized dog. Their elongated bodies are cylindrical, their heads are flat, and they are devoid of scales. But what truly makes them stand out is their unique ability to generate electricity, a feature that has intrigued scientists for centuries. The electric eel possesses 3 pairs of abdominal organs that produce electricity: the main organ, the hunter's organ, and the sacs organ. These organs make up 4/5 of its body and are packed with over 6,000 specialized cells called electrocytes. When the eel senses danger or hunts for food, these cells discharge simultaneously, emitting a burst of electricity. The shock factor of the electric eel is truly remarkable. They can generate a jolt of around 600 volts, which is roughly 5 times the power of a standard United States wall socket. This electric shock is the eel's primary method of defense and a potent weapon for hunting. It's like carrying a taser that can stun or even kill its prey. However, it's important to note that the electric eel's shock is typically non-lethal to humans. It could knock a person off their feet or cause temporary numbness, but it's unlikely to cause a fatality. But remember, this doesn't mean you should try to pet one if you come across it. Now, having understood the basic characteristics of the electric eel, let's delve into the specifics of its electric power. So, buckle up and prepare to be electrified by the fascinating world of the electric eel. So, how powerful is this creature that we call the electric eel? This slippery, sinuous being is a living, breathing battery, able to generate a staggering 600 volts of electricity. To put that into perspective, a standard American wall outlet delivers a mere 120 volts. That's right, our eel friend can produce 5 times the voltage of your household power supply. But how does it harness such a formidable force? The eel's body contains specialized cells called electrocytes. When the eel senses danger or spots a potential meal, these cells act like miniature batteries. They line up and discharge simultaneously, creating a powerful electric shock. This shock is the eel's primary hunting tool. It stuns or kills small fish and invertebrates, making them easy prey. The eel also uses its electric power for navigation and communication. By emitting low-level electrical pulses, it can see its surroundings and interact with other eels. But it's not just about offense. The electric eel also uses its shocking power for defense. When threatened, it can emit a series of high-voltage pulses, enough to deter even the most persistent predators. In fact, the electric eel's shock is so powerful that it can even be used to power small electronic devices. Imagine that, a living, swimming power source. So, the electric eel is a remarkable example of nature's ingenuity. It has evolved to generate and harness electrical power, using it for hunting, communication, and self-defense. But it's not just about the raw power. The electric eel also shows us the incredible adaptability of life on Earth. It's a creature that has turned a simple survival mechanism into a superpower, becoming one of the most unique and fascinating animals on our planet. Quite shocking, isn't it? But how does this electric power affect us humans? Let's find out. Ever thought about getting into a tussle with an electric eel? Well, you might want to rethink that. Let's dive into the potential danger of an electric eel to a human. Now, electric eels are fascinating creatures. They generate electricity in a way that's quite unlike any other animal, thanks to their specialized electric organs. But what happens when this electricity meets the human body? The human body is a conductor of electricity, and as such, is susceptible to electric shocks. An electric eel can generate a shock of up to 600 volts. To put that into perspective, it's 5 times the power of a standard United States wall socket. This is more than enough to cause a human severe pain and even heart failure in certain circumstances. Now imagine being in water when this happens. Water is a great conductor of electricity, meaning the shock you receive could be even more intense. In the worst-case scenario, the shock could cause a person to go into cardiac arrest. That's when the heart suddenly stops beating, and unless treated immediately, it could lead to death. But it's not just the heart that can be affected. The shock from an electric eel can also cause severe burns and muscle paralysis. In the water, muscle paralysis can lead to drowning, even in shallow water. Despite all this, fatalities from electric eel shocks are rare. This is largely due to the fact that these creatures are found in remote areas away from human populations. However, it's important to remember that while rare, these incidents can and do happen. So it's clear that messing with an electric eel isn't the best idea. But would an electric eel directly attack a human? Engaging in a battle with an electric eel isn't something you'd want to add to your bucket list. But stay tuned as we delve into the intentions of these electrifying creatures in the next scene. Do electric eels see us as potential prey or threats? Let's find out. Diving into the depths of the eel's intentions, we must first understand that electric eels, contrary to popular belief, do not typically view humans as prey. Their diet primarily consists of invertebrates, small fish, and occasionally small mammals and birds that get too close to the water's edge. Humans, being much larger, don't fit the bill for their usual menu. However, that doesn't mean they won't defend themselves if they feel threatened. Electric eels are known for their powerful electric shock, a natural defense mechanism they use to stun their prey and ward off predators. When it comes to humans, these creatures are more likely to use their electric shock in self-defense rather than aggression. Now, you might be wondering, are there any known instances of electric eels attacking humans? The answer is yes, but they are relatively rare and often involve circumstances where the eel felt cornered or threatened. In a handful of cases, unwary swimmers or fishermen have accidentally stepped on or disturbed these creatures, triggering a defensive shock. However, these shocks, while painful, are rarely fatal to humans. But here's an important caveat. While the eel's electric shock is not generally lethal to humans, it can certainly cause temporary paralysis. And if the person is swimming, this could potentially lead to drowning. So it's always crucial to respect these powerful creatures and their habitats, giving them the space they need to live without fear of human interference. So do electric eels view humans as potential prey or threats? The answer is not usually. They're more likely to view us as big, clumsy intruders in their watery world. But if threatened, they won't hesitate to defend themselves, and that's when their electric shock comes into play. So, while not typically aggressive towards humans, electric eels are definitely not to be trifled with. An electric eel versus a whale. Sounds like a mismatch, right? But could an electric eel really kill a whale? Picture this: an electric eel, a slender creature of about 7 feet long, going up against a whale, a behemoth that can reach lengths of over 100 feet. At first glance, it seems like a no contest. After all, how could an eel, even an electric one, possibly pose a threat to such a massive creature? Let's not discount the electric eel too quickly, though. It can generate a shock of up to 600 volts, enough to stun a horse. But would that be enough to harm a whale? To answer that, we need to consider the size, habitat, and behavior of both creatures. Firstly, size. Yes, a whale is enormous, but that doesn't necessarily make it invulnerable. An electric shock could, in theory, harm a whale, especially if it hit a sensitive area like the eyes or blowhole. But the sheer size of the whale might also dilute the effect of the shock, reducing its impact. Moving on to habitat, electric eels and whales don't usually cross paths. Electric eels inhabit freshwater environments in South America, while whales are ocean-dwelling creatures. The chances of them encountering each other in the wild are extremely slim. Finally, behavior. Electric eels use their shock primarily for hunting and self-defense. They're not typically aggressive towards creatures that don't pose a threat. A whale, clearly outsizing and outweighing an eel, wouldn't likely be perceived as prey or a threat. So could an electric eel kill a whale? While the eel's shock could potentially harm a whale, the size difference, distinct habitats, and the eel's typical behavior make such an event highly unlikely. While it seems unlikely, the electric eel is indeed a powerful creature. However, it's safe to say that a whale has little to fear from it. So there you have it, the electric eel, a fascinating creature with a shocking power. But remember, it's best admired from a safe distance. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing insights into the natural world.